Many of you have met Boaz over the last couple days. Yeah. When you think of Boaz, what's one word that comes to your mind?
Picture. Smile.
Picture, smile. Photograph, joy. Huh? Friendly. What other words we got?
David.
Huh?
David,
His beard. Okay. Clark's.
Ever joyous.
Huh?
Ever joyous.
Ever joyous. I like these words. Boaz, servant. Yeah, Boaz, let's put this phone down. We can sit it right here. And let's get you from behind the camera for a moment, okay? Come on up. Can we give a hand up for Boaz? Now, I don't know if any of you have been able to hear Boaz's story yet. Boaz was raised in the Rose of Sharon orphanage. Boaz, can you tell everyone just a little bit of your story?
Thank you, Carmen. Right. Let me start by saying, I love you, Mommy. I love you so much, Mommy. Right. My story starts like this. I was born in 1996 with my little sister, and she passed away. She was bitten by a dog when we were going to school. So the dog just jumped straight to the mouth and just bite her. So she died because of rabies. Right. So I don't know my father. That's the honest truth. My mother passed away when I was 7 years old. And from that moment, I was very young. I was staying with my grandmother, who was very hard on me. She would beat me for no apparent reason. I had all sorts of abuse. She abused me in every way. I remember the other time she cooked sadza in Zimbabwe. Here they call it ugali. In Zimbabwe, call it sadza. So what happened is she cooked sadza without relish. So when I asked her, Gogo, in Zimbabwe, grandmother is called Gogo. So I asked, Gogo, where is my relish so that I can eat? Then she said, go and catch rats. Do you know rats? Rats, the one that runs in the house.
Yeah.
Yes, I ate them myself. I caught them and I ate them at the age of 7. And back then, I can tell you that my life, I did not have hope when it comes to life. In early 2006, I heard about my mother. She is my mother, sitting there. Right. The first thing that she taught me was to love the Lord. I remember the day she came, she drove over 600 kilometers to come and get me. Where I come from, it's close to Mozambique border. If we want to go to Mozambique border, you just walk. That's where I come from. And she drove all the way down. We were about 36 of us, the group that came to Rose of Sharon, the team that she rescued at that time. We were 36 of us. And the Lord was so amazing, and He's still amazing in my life. And I love Him so much. Because of Mama, Dr. Fatima Maruta, she doesn't want to be called Dr. Fatima Maruta, but she is my doctor. I did not know what to eat the best meal. I did not know how. But because of her, she taught me. I remember, because of my age, I was not going to school. I started from grade 6, because I was very shy to tell her that I did not do grade 1, grade 2, up to grade 6. Then wearing proper shoes. I started wearing proper shoes at the orphanage. Going to school, I was a headman. I used to head cattle every single day. I started going to school when I got to Rose of Sharon. So, one thing I have loved and one thing I liked and I still love in Rose of Sharon, there is number one priority that she puts in front, the word I love you. No wonder why yesterday you heard me, I love you, oh, I love you. That's our anthem for the organization. We say, I love you a lot. Because we are coming from backgrounds that are bad. No one could love me the way I was. But she loved me like Christ loved us all. She resembled the love of Jesus Christ in each and every child back home in Zimbabwe. So I started my grade 6. I finished my grade 6, 7. I had about 17 units. I started Form 1 from our school. I think Coleman and Pastor Ken have been there. They know where our school is. I started Form 1 up to Form 6. Along the way, the other thing I've learned, my mom taught me to have self-courage in myself. I was vocal. Back then, I did not have a voice. Before I met my mom, I did not have a voice. I could not say anything. I was not vocal. I was just quiet because of the past. But when I met my mom, she taught me, son, if you want to make it in life, you have to be vocal. You have to stand for your rights. No matter you are coming from the orphanage, this is not an orphanage. It's a home. It's a home. It's different from the orphanage. So, we at our local count, we have got 8 schools that we compete with. And amongst all the 8 schools that we were competing with, I became the junior mayor of our count in 2015 to 2016 because of this big Jesus and my mom there.
Amen.
She could encourage me that you are not an orphan. I'm here, your mother. I'm here, your father. I'm everything to you. This is her words in each and every single day. Whenever we meet, whenever we talk, I'm your mother, I'm your father, I'm here to protect you. From there, I roll up the wheel. I did my tertiary. I did not come out well at A level, so I had to go to a college. I enrolled. I studied IT and graphic designing. So that's what I do. Right now at the orphanage, I'm employed at the orphanage, working with my mom, supporting her in every way. That's why you see I love camera. That's what motivates me. Because behind this camera, I'm hiding what happened in the past. I say, I don't want to go back there in the past. So if you see me happy, if you see me smiling, if you see me giggling, it means the past that I went through, I don't want to talk about it. And I don't want to hear about it. But what I want to focus on is the goal ahead. And I want to thank the Lord. I was blessed with a beautiful wife and a daughter. I've got a beautiful daughter back home. Her name is Chloe.
She says she's beautiful because she looks just like her.
Yes. So that's my history. That's my story. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Give a hand up for Boaz. You know, there's a lot of different ways I love to introduce people. I love to you've seen me do it so many times. Hey, have you met so-and-so? This person's doing this so well. But the greatest introduction is always a testimony. Amen? Amen. And so we can give lessons, but illustrations are always so much more powerful. So thank you, Boaz, for showing us the fruit of our next guest speaker, Fatima Maruta. We'll negate the doctor, but can we just give a hand up for Fatima Maruta? I asked her, again, there's so many things that everyone does so well. You can set your stuff up right here, Fatima. There's so many things that all of you do so well. I think the thing that makes her so excellent is her two things. One, her drive for excellence, and we'll talk more about that in just a second. But two, the way she's developed her organizational structure. She has the most developed organizational structure, I think, of any home represented here, which is not to say that your guys' homes aren't developed. It's just she's just done it very well. And so I just asked her to come up and give us a little introduction to Rose of Sharon.
Thank you very much, Sam. Allow me to honor the Vice President. So, Pastor King, thank you. Thank you for saving the needs of African children. We can never thank you. It has been so many years of you helping us. We are where we are today because of your impact. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Pastor Coleman. Each time this young man visits us, the one thing that strikes me most is the Christ in him, the selflessness that is in him, the love that he has got for the African children. This man of God is a genuine man of God. He loves us and he loves the children. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for the great work and thank you for bringing us here. We are being empowered. We are learning. Thank you, great leaders, and thank you for the great work that you are doing within the orphanages. Thank you, servants of God, and thank you for the input that you are making into so. Before I say much, allow me to just say a little. What we've done is we've prepared a snippet of a documentary about what we do on a daily basis to the children. My son is going to play it. But Fatima was a sinner who was saved by his grace. Not only did he save me, I ran away from his call from 1998, soon after leaving America, glad with my qualifications. I was eager to do my own will. I wanted recognition, I wanted to earn some money, I wanted fame, I wanted everything that the world offers. But behind all those things, I could hear the call of God saying, leave all and come and do my work. But I literally ran away. From 1999 to 2003, I was doing his work, helping people, but from arm's length, without love, not even caring the end part of the child or the person that I'm helping. I was doing it. I remember by then I'd clinched a very senior position with UNAIDS as projects accountant for donor funds on HIV and AIDS, and the project would cover 11 provinces in Zimbabwe. Then they called me to say, we've run into a problem, we've given some money, but none of the money that we gave ever reached to the orphans. How can we go over this problem? We still have some donor funds that we want to disperse, but we cannot do it because we don't know why. So when I went down to do a survey in all those provinces, I discovered one thing, that much as we had been hit by HIV and AIDS, people were dying, there were widows, there were orphans, there were widowers. The leaders were not compassionate. The love that this man of God is talking about. Most of the provinces had stolen most of the money. There was nothing to show of that money. Each province had been given 50,000 each. But there was no trace of that money. Then I discovered that, number one, God has to be first in a person's life. And number two, the love of God that is being shown here is of paramount importance. So I realized that for a person to have a vibrant organization, remember, we are taking care of what God has created, his children, not man-made products. So for us to succeed, we have to adopt Christ's culture. Amen. That is being talked about here. The love and the compassion. But the love and the compassion is not enough, because a leader plays a pivotal role in setting the tone of an organization by his behaviors and actions. Who he is. That's what the staff will then pick. The children will then pick when it comes to culture. God then said to me, leave all and come and follow me. And by then I was already in Europe trying to settle. 2 weeks before I settled, he visited me during the night. Then he said to me, for how long shall you refuse to listen to me? I'd heard about the plight of these children, but I was caring the less. Then I finally said, Lord, I want to leave all. I want to follow you. I'm going back to Zimbabwe. I came back to Zimbabwe. Then he told me, he gave me Genesis 17 verse 1. That has been our culture in our organization. Habitually fellowshipping with God, walking in integrity, being complete in the way that I do things, giving him my all. My all. He said, give me your all. I'd amassed wealth, I'd properties, I'd land. He said, give me your all. Before you come to me for resources, use all that you have acquired. Then when you come to the end, I'll pitch in. And I did exactly that. I transferred all my assets to the children. I used all that I acquired to help rescue the children, to start my first work. And ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing that is precious besides giving our all to the Lord Jesus Christ. Let him come first, and let the needs of children, let your staff come first. In every decision that you make, let them come first. As you do that, you are then cascading the culture of the organization, not only to the children, but to the staff. Because they will feel valued, they will feel loved. Culture is what you see when you get into the organization, the excellence, the systems. But there are also things that are intangible, the love, the trust, the honesty of the people who are serving the vision. That is not built overnight, but it takes a leader who is intentional in exuding integrity. You have to walk it. The staff have to see you walking it, living it. You have to have a transparent life where they can see what you are doing. Don't do it alone. You know, there's a tendency as leaders to operate like a small store at the backyard, a tuck shop. In our home, we call them tuck shop, where you just want to do the things alone. I don't know, but in our country, people have a tendency of doing that. But for you to build a strong structure, be open. Let both the children and the staff see what we are doing. Yes. Agree. Let them see the transaction. This is what we've got. Agree on the budget. Implement together. But you as the leader, you supervise the system. You supervise what they do. You empower them. You trust them. You let them do. Then you supervise the system. And when there is recognition, go ahead and recognize them.
Yep.
And from time to time, go back again, review the system. If there are needs that needs to be changed, if there's something that needs to be done, quickly do it. So a health culture inspires and stimulates all staff members to give their best when they are convinced that their ideas will be valued. They have to be valued as people, but their ideas have to be valued by the leader. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to encourage you this morning. I'm not going to say much because we've got a video. I want to operate within my time frame. Children and the staff that help you must be valued. They are the valuable assets in the organization. Our organizations are tricky because without staff, we can't do the work. The children will be vulnerable. And without the children, we don't have a vision. So both the children and the staff play a pivotal role. And what I've said is, if you treat them and treat their responses as a leader, treat them well. Treat them well. Treat the children well. That becomes the air that they breathe. And if the air is clean and healthy, there is a thriving within the organization. You become successful. But if the air is toxic, you don't go far with the vision. It becomes stale. It dies. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to give our all as leaders, because children learn not from what we say, but from what they see us do. The same thing applies to the staff that we've got. They come to us, most of them will be very hungry. I don't know about your countries. In our country, there is a hyperinflationary environment. People are jobless. There's so much corruption. Everyone is looking for the much needed US dollar. And we are trying to then attract employees or staff that can volunteer or try to help your vision. They want to pick your passion. It becomes so difficult because when they come, they are hungry. When they come, they are saying, what can I get out of this? But for you to then build a culture for them to believe in what you are doing, to believe that much as I don't get much, but I am serving God through these children. I have to love them. I have to follow the visionary. It takes quality leadership. I would like to say thank you for just listening a little. Over to you, son. Just play the video. Thank you.
Get that video. It's going to take a second to come on because that thing went down.